Hey, before you tense up, don't. I'm not starting that kind of conversation. I'm not about to ask you anything. And I'm definitely not trying to corner you into saying something you're not ready to say. So just stay where you are and listen for a minute. I'm not upset. I'm not annoyed. I'm actually pretty calm right now, which is kind of why I want to say this now, before it turns into something heavier in my head. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm not listing mistakes. I'm not trying to define us. I just want to say something out loud once, without it turning into an argument or a joke or you immediately trying to explain yourself. You don't need to defend anything. You don't need to clarify. You don't need to promise me anything either. Just let me finish, okay? I know how this sounds already. You're probably thinking, oh, this is one of those talks. It's not. I promise. I'm not here to ask. So, what are we? I'm not here to say, you never said, or you always do this thing where. No, this isn't that. I'm just noticing things, and tonight felt like a good moment to notice them out loud. That's all. And before you misread my tone, I'm not saying this because something went wrong. I'm saying it because nothing did. That's kind of the point. I don't need an answer at the end of this. I don't need you to suddenly label anything. I'm not even asking you to agree with me. I just don't want you to think I'm upset, because I'm not. If anything, I feel steady, which is rare for me, by the way. So don't underestimate how intentional this is. I just want you to hear me say this one thing clearly. I'm not accusing you. I'm not confronting you. I'm not pushing. I'm just paying attention. And I wanted you to know that. I'm just going to list things, okay? Not to prove anything. Not to corner you. Just things that happen. You stay. That's the first one. You stay when you could leave. When it would be normal to say, it's getting late, and stand up. When no one would question it. You don't even hesitate. You just stay. I never asked you to. You didn't check if I wanted you to. You just didn't go anywhere. You sit there like it's obvious, like that's where you're supposed to be. You don't rush me. That one's small, but it's not. You wait while I finish whatever I'm doing. You don't sigh. You don't look at your phone like you're counting minutes. You just wait, quietly, patiently, as if your time isn't something you're worried about spending here. You listen, not in a dramatic way. You don't interrupt to fix things. You don't turn everything into advice. You just let me talk. Even when I'm rambling. Even when I repeat myself. Even when I don't really know what I'm trying to say. You stay for that too. You notice when I'm cold. I never say it out loud. I don't need to. Somehow, you always know. You shift closer. You pull the blanket a little higher. You offer your sleeve, your shoulder, your hand, like it's the most natural thing in the world. See, you just did it again. You pulled the blanket up over my shoulder without even looking. You prove my point before I even finish making it. You don't ask, is this okay? You don't make a big deal out of it. You just do it. And if I don't pull away, you stay right there. You wait for my reactions. That part matters. You're paying attention, not testing, not pushing, just watching, adjusting, matching me. You stay when I'm quiet, not just when I'm fun, not just when I'm talkative or in a good mood. You stay when I get tired, when I slow down, when I stop feeling the silence. You don't try to fix the quiet. You don't make it awkward. You let it exist. You stay even when there's nothing happening. That's the one people don't notice. The moment with no story, no joke, no reason. You're just there. You remember things. Little things. Things I didn't think anyone was keeping track of. How I take my tea. Which scarf I always forget. What time I usually start yawning. You remember without showing off about it. You stay consistent, not intense, not dramatic, just steady. You show up the same way every time. Same calm, same attention, same warmth. You don't disappear for days and then come back like nothing happened. You don't make me guess where I stand that day. You don't make me earn your presence. You stay, and before you say it, no, I'm not saying this because I'm expecting something. I'm not building a case. I'm not asking you to explain yourself. I'm just noticing. Because friends don't usually do this. They don't stay like this. They don't wait like this. They don't pay attention like this. And I'm not saying that means anything. I'm really not. I'm just saying these are not accidents. You make choices over and over again. Quiet ones, comfortable ones. You choose to stay. And I don't stop you. I never have. I let you sit close. I let you warm me up. I let you be part of my evenings like it's normal. Because somewhere along the way, it did start to feel normal. That's all. That's literally all I'm saying. No labels. No pressure. Just facts. You stay. Okay. This is the part where you're probably going to sigh and say, I'm overthinking again. So let me say this first. I'm really not. I'm not turning this into some dramatic moment. I'm just lining things up, putting them next to each other, seeing what they look like when I stop pretending they're random. Like the tree. We didn't make a big deal out of it, remember? He just showed up with that box of ornaments like it was obvious. Didn't ask if I wanted help. Didn't say only for a bit. You took your coat off, rolled up your sleeves, and started untangling the lights like you'd done it 100 times here. And yeah, we joked about it. You complained about the cheap wires. I told you you were doing it wrong. You ignored me. Obviously. But at some point, and I know you remember this, we stopped talking. Not awkward silence. Just comfortable. You handed me things without looking. I passed them back. You adjusted the lights when I said a little to the left. You stayed longer than you planned to. You always do. And when it was done, neither of us said, "So, should I go?" You just sat down next to me, like that was the natural next step. That's the thing. None of it feels planned, which somehow makes it more intentional. We didn't sit there and say, "Okay, holidays, what are we doing?" We just started doing them together. You mentioned your plans. I mentioned mine. Somewhere in the middle, they stopped being separate. You said, "Well, we could just..." And I finished the sentence without thinking. Together. We didn't pause, didn't laugh it off, didn't correct it. We just nodded, like that answer had already been agreed on. And that's what keeps getting me. Not the tree, not the lights, not even the plans. It's how easy it is with you. How natural it feels to assume you'll be there. How strange it will feel to picture the holidays without you now. Friends don't usually do that. They don't quietly merge traditions. They don't default to each other when the days get shorter and the nights get colder. And before you say it, yes, I know. People can do winter things together without it meaning anything. I'm not saying it means something just because it's December. I'm saying it means something because it's us. Because you didn't treat it like a favor or a visit or a one-time thing. You treated it like you belong here. Like this is part of your life now. So no, I'm not accusing you. I'm not cornering you with fairy lights and hot drinks and calling it destiny. I'm just noticing that we're already building something that looks a lot like a shared season. And I haven't decided what to call that yet. But I know one thing. It doesn't feel like nothing. I'm not saying this to push you into anything. I really hope you know that by now. I'm not trying to corner you into a label. I'm not waiting for you to suddenly sit up straight and confess something dramatic. I don't need a moment like that. I just want to say this part out loud because it's already true for me. I like how this feels. I like how calm it is. I like that when things get loud outside, when everyone starts talking about plans and parties and expectations, you don't add to the noise. You make it quieter. I like that I don't have to perform around you. I don't have to be on. I don't have to explain why I'm tired or why I'd rather stay in. With you, staying in doesn't feel like missing out. It feels like choosing the right thing. I thought I'd want something big this year. A lot of people, a lot of movement. Something that looks festive enough to justify the season. But honestly, I don't want that. I want this exact kind of evening. The kind where time slows down instead of speeding up. Where nothing impressive happens, but nothing feels empty either. I want to spend the holidays like this, with you nearby. Not because it's tradition, not because it's expected, just because it feels good. I feel safe with you, and not in a dramatic way, not in a you saved me way, in a quiet way, in a I can exhale way. That matters to me more than excitement ever did. And before you overthink that, no, I'm not asking you to promise anything. I'm not asking you to change overnight. I'm just being honest about where I'm standing. If you told me you weren't ready to name this, I wouldn't argue. If you told me you needed time, I'd understand. All I'm saying is, don't tell me this is nothing. Because you don't stay like this for nothing. You don't wait like this for nothing. You don't build quiet little traditions with someone if it means nothing. You're already acting like my boyfriend in all the ways that actually matter. And now you're lacing your fingers with mine. You're not pulling away. You're holding on tighter. Okay, I guess that's my answer. So, call it whatever you want. Take your time with the words. Use silence if that's easier. Just don't pretend it's empty. Don't pretend it's accidental. Because to me, this isn't nothing. And I'm happy here.